What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We'll be continuing with my 2018 Oscar film coverage. Today I'll be talking about the movie Call Me By Your Name. This movie is directed by Luca Guadagnino. Probably mispronouncing your name, sir, and I do apologize. But this film stars Timothy Chalamet as the main character, Elio, and it also stars Armie as the main character, Overt. This movie takes place in the summer of 1983 out in countryside Italy. And just to start out, that's one thing they did really, really well was the scenery, the look of this movie. When they go to the lakes, when they go out to the countryside, the trees, the colors, the everything about it makes you wish you was out there, in the lake having a picnic or just kicking back with your feet up. So whoever was in charge of that, as far as like the scenery, the colors, the furniture, the way the house looked on the inside, the costumes the characters were wearing. I really don't talk about those things a lot in movies, but in this movie particularly, it really stood out to me. So that if you do check out this movie, that's one thing you're going to notice. For some reason, I felt like I was on cocaine watching this movie. Like, I ain't never did cocaine in my life, but the way they did the screen, it sort of reminded me of Shape of Water, where the screen is a little bit out of focus, but at the same time, it matches perfectly with what you're watching. So that was a great aspect of this movie. Now, to get into the story of this movie, it's basically about this 17-year-old kid, Elio. His parents are pretty well off. They own a vacation house, out there in the countryside of Italy. So every summer they go there and they allow different people to stay with them for about 6 weeks during that summer vacation time. Well, this particular summer, they get this guy, Oliver, to come visit. Well, Oliver is a very mysterious character. He doesn't really say too much about his past or, what's going on in his personal life. He's very smart, very intelligent, straightforward with his words. He uses 2 words when you probably should use 5 to explain something. Very handsome and muscular. It just catches the attention. I mean, it's a very small little town, and from the look of it, everybody in the town sort of knows each other. So they did notice when this new guy come in here looking different, acting different than anybody they ever seen before. Well, Elio, he really, takes notice of this. At first, it starts out with a little bit of curiosity, and then it builds up to just a pure infatuation. And I think the director did a great job of having it have a slow build. I mean, the whole cat and mouse game that the 2 characters play, far as sending very subtle signals to each other, but at the same time, very overt signals that they were into each other, overtly to the point where the mom and dad could even tell. I mean, you as a viewer, you're watching, you can tell that this boy was infatuated with this guy. I mean, just by the way he looked at him, the way he talked about him. He would go into his room and smell his clothes when, he wasn't there. So it was pretty obvious that this boy was infatuated with this older man. But here's the thing. Elio was already kind of seeing a young lady at this time. So I'm getting the impression from the movie that Elio was confused. He didn't know where these feelings came from, but he knew that they were there and he knew that they were real. So he was trying to balance between being, I guess you can say, a boy that likes girls or trying to figure out if he was a boy that likes other boys. And so I think the director did a great job. And Esther Garril, she plays the girlfriend in this movie. She did a great job of just portraying that confusion and the hurt and the indecision inside Elio. And then all of a sudden, after Elio talked to his mom, I think his mom was giving him a hint. She read him a poem and it said, if you have something to say to somebody, just say it. And so I think that was his mom's way of telling him, just go to the guy and tell him how you feel if you really feel that way. And that's what he did. And the feelings were mutual and were reciprocated. And thus began, I guess you can say, a 2 to 3 week fling that they had. And at the end of the movie, Oliver goes home and Elio goes back to his family, to their house. And Elio gets a call from Oliver telling him that, hey, I'm engaged now, I'm going to be married, and that's pretty much the end of our relationship. And Elio took this hard, and I guess you could say, the movie ended with him facing the camera and just really, really crying hard. But in the end, after he cried hard, he smiled because he appreciated the experience. Because his dad told him, I had some of those same feelings when I was younger, your age. I just never acted on them, and now I'm old and I regret that. So he said, appreciate the moments that you had and the love that you shared because it was real. And so I think that's why Elio started crying after he heard the news that Oliver was married. But he ended up being happy because he appreciated the relationship that they did have. Well, that's the gist of the story. There's a lot of, little twists and turns here or there, but that's very much the gist of the story. It's a love story. My opinion of this movie is that it was a good movie. I'm not gonna lie. The action, the acting, the acting was superb. Armie Hammer showed me in this movie a lot that he's not just a pretty face. Armie Hammer, and I'm pretty sure other people who follow his career more intently than I do, probably can point out other movies where he had great performances. But as far as I'm concerned, Armie Hammer in this movie proved to me that he is truly a great, amazing actor. Timothy Chalamet, the young man playing Elio, as well, he did a great job. That's one thing I cannot knock this movie for, is the acting, because even his parents, the grandmother, it felt like I was watching a family. It didn't feel like I was watching actors pretending to be in a family. No, they were so affectionate and caring towards each other. My family didn't hug me that much. I didn't lay on my mama's lap as a grown-ass boy. I didn't know, but when he did it, it felt natural that the mom, the dad, and the son would all hug up together on the couch together and read a book and talk. I never did that with my family. So seeing that, it didn't look awkward. It didn't look weird to me. It looked like, wow, that looks so loving and comfortable. This family really care for each other. So you really got that sense watching this movie. Another thing you got was the supporting cast. The mom, the dad, the people playing the girlfriends, they all really held this movie together with their acting. I don't think you can have the main story be what it was without the supporting characters pulling everything together like glue. I think the supporting characters really held this movie together to the point where it drove the main story home. Because without the girlfriend, Elio, he wouldn't have that conflict going on inside of him. Without his parents giving him that guidance, I think it showed the acceptance and the love that his parents have for them, that their reaction wasn't anger that their son was gay or having these gay feelings. They wanted him to embrace it, and they encouraged him to love. They encouraged him to feel. And so that's the feeling I got from that. Now, all in all, I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's viewing for the mature audience. If you have any problems whatsoever with homosexuality or seeing two men kiss or make out on screen, then you might not like this movie. A lot of YouTubers won't say that because I guess they're scared to offend somebody, but I know some people out there don't like homosexuality. So if you have a problem with seeing that, then you're not going to like this movie, because it's a lot of that. If you like good acting, if you like great scenery, if you like a great story, then you will like this movie. The soundtrack, these little weird songs that they use, I don't know what you want to call them, but these weird little hippie songs fit so perfect. The scenery is beautiful. It really makes you wish you was at these lakes with these people, and just everything about this movie works. So I can honestly recommend that you possibly rent this. You don't have to buy the Blu-ray. I don't think it's rewatchable over and over and over again. I think you should just rent this, and check it out and see some great acting, see a great story, and that's all it is, really. So yeah, I give this movie 7.5 out of 10. I think it's worth your time, to go rent this if you would like to. But if you've already seen it and you disagree with anything, I said in this review, let me know in the comment section below, y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. It's much appreciated. I don't get paid for this channel. I do this out of my love for film, and just, give you a heads up on what to spend your hard-earned money on. But anyway, y'all, that's my review for Call Me By Your Name. I'll catch your ass out there in the universe once again. Peace.
You don't know.
Boundless by the time I cry.
You only knew how little I know about the things that matter.
Build your walls around.
What things that matter?
White noise, what an awful